Hi everybody, so today we're going to do day 7 and I think we're going to go ahead and use this heart. I'll take this split ring off. I don't like it. It is a conch shell slice, so we're going to use that. And I am probably going to use maybe not a whole lot of beads out of here, but I have some other beads that I'm going to use to make this piece of jewelry with, because he is a shell, and but I also don't want to make it too heavy. So we did get some shell beads in Bargain Bead Box, so I think I'm going to pull out some of those. Not a lot, because they can make things very, very heavy. So I'm just going to pull out a selection of those. I think that would be good. Maybe a few more. These really aren't too awful bad. And I'm going to use some tiny little gold seed beads in between them for accents, and yeah, I kind of like that. Let's get some of these in there too. 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I have 8? I have 8. So there's going to be 4 on each side. I want to thank all my new subscribers. And so part of this is going to be BB Craft, and part of this is going to be from Hobby Lobby. Other parts is going to be from here they are, Bargain Bead Box, and stuff from my stash. So here are the little 2mm, and I don't think they'll go inside of those. If so, I'll have to get my 3mm ones out. I'm almost out of the 3mm, so we'll see what we do. It's just going to be a simple stringing. The only difference is the items I'm using, and that it's for Valentine's Day. I am going to clip this. Well, I said I was. Well, I thought it clipped. Sounded like it did. Let me pull that apart. I absolutely loathe split rings, guys. And now it comes off. Okay. It came off because the jump ring opened. Ugh, goodness. Okay, we'll close it back up when we're ready. We'll go ahead and close it up now so that I don't forget. Just like so. There we go. And he hangs like that, so he will go on nicely. All right, let's go ahead and spread these out a little bit. There we go. I have a big old piece of wire here left over. Here it is. I think that's plenty long enough for what we're going to do today. I will clip one end for starters. And we are going to start by stringing our little shell heart on. And wish I had two little tiny beads to put right there. Let me get, I just literally had them. Oh, they're really big. Oh, there's some smaller ones in there. Let's see if those are small enough. There's one. Oh yeah, I think so. Let's put those in there. These are like I'd say a 4mm. Oh, that'll be lovely. And we're just gonna see. Now we need to come away from that just a little bit. So we need some small little colored beads. We have some of these. We might want to take these back off. Do I like that? I think we'll take these back off because they are kind of big. We'll get some of these out. These are, I believe, a 2mm crystal faceted. We're just going to put like 3. Oh yeah, that would be lovely. And then do one of these smaller ones. Perfect. That will work perfect. 1, 2, 3. 4. So I spent my only really nice day this week sitting in the hospital. So, and now the weather is going to be crappy. I'm just going to bead on like a section of the shell heishei beads. I would say like 5. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to clip this end so it's out of our way and work just on this end. I wanted to do some things and I just didn't get them done. But that's okay. And now we're going to get nasty weather. We're going to get some possible snow next week. It's going to stay cold. I'm just going to put some of these little tiny 2mm ones out. And I want to make sure that they don't disappear inside my heisheis. So I'm going to push. And they do not. I just want that little bitty splash of color. Now I want to make sure they don't disappear inside of these crystals, and they do not. So I'm putting a crystal, a spacer bead. These spacer beads came from BB Craft. all those links will be in the description along with bargain bead box. And I appreciate the support so much, and I appreciate all of the new subscribers. I want to pick up one more. Come on, little dude. Whoops, just one. I'll hold that up and see how that looks. Oh, I really like that. Very pretty. Very feminine, very pink. 1, 2. I also, in my BB craft, way back a couple of times ago, I got a whole kit of a case with different colors of the shell heisheis. BB Craft supports my channel quite a bit. Lisa is amazing. I do have a really nice video coming up. I do follow Back to Earth Creations. I have for many years before I really started beading or even making videos. Yvonne and Randy are pretty cool. They live really not too far from here. You know, so and she's always welcoming people to, you know, make her creations, and that's why she puts her videos out, is for people to make her creations and to try it for yourself. And she has a really good channel, and I let her know, you know, I was trying to figure out what to do with my wire and things, and one of her like 8-year-old videos popped up. It's like, how cool is that? And we got giggling over it. There we go. And then I'm going to use up the back side because I think that's more than I need down the front, down around. So I'm going to finish this with wire. I am going to put probably 7. So there's 4. 5, 6, 7. I like that. Okay, I'm going to clip this end so it's out of the way. And then we're going to come back and do this side so it's caught up. I do need to get more shell beads out before I forget. I think that should be enough. are about to right here. So I have 5, another spacer bead, one, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spacer. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I am trying to be a little mindful on how long the shell part is, because I don't want the 2 sides to be one longer than the other. So I'm making sure I don't use too many really thick ones. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I actually could use some thicker ones. Okay, let me take some of these off and get some really thick ones on there. It really does make a difference. That one I know is thick. This one is thick. I was afraid they were being, I was being too thin with them. You know, I was being too thick, so I was trying to go thinner. So, holding him up like this, kind of wanting to keep him. Yeah, see, I leveled it out just by putting a bunch of thick ones in there. That was perfect. Now my next one, I need to be kind of mindful. It can be a little bit different, but I don't want it to be like a whole bunch off on size. All right, it didn't want to go on. 1, 2, and back to getting one of these little spacers. Come on, little dude. Come on. You just want one of you to go on. There we go. And again, sizing everything up. Pretty close. I do want to go with some thicker ones. Again, I may have to get some. Those have got some pretty thin ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want some pretty thick ones. 1. That one is thicker. Let me get a couple thick ones out. Or at least one more thick one. That's the only thing about these shell beads. they vary so much in thickness that and if I have to, I can put a really, really thin one, because I do have some incredibly thin ones in here, like that one, if I have to add to kind of even it out. That one is really thick. Okay, let's get that on. So let's start with this really thick one. Him and him. Oh, is he not drilled? There he is. 2, 3, 4. Let's see where we're at. One more. And I think we're good enough. We can go to our little bead. And we need 7 of these. Come on. I'm pretty sure I have more than 7 out there, but that's okay. We'll count them. 1, 2, 3. Come on. 4, 5, 6, and one more is 7. Now hold it up and see how we did. It is actually perfect. Okay, I'm gonna pick up my mess. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and this chain also came from BB Craft. If you follow my links and you get this set of 6 chains, just know that the chain is really quite small links. I know when I read it, I read the size of the links, but I wasn't thinking about how small my things were going to have to be to go through this chain. So just know, watch your sizes of your chain when you go through BB Craft to get your chain. I love their chain. It is really nice and everything. So just know that. And I also have this kit that I got from BB Craft. It's a 500 piece kit. It comes with 200 of the these things here. Good Lord, my brain is not working. 200 clam shells, 100 lobsters, and 200 jump rings. The jump rings are 4mm, and we're going to use them. They are pretty good and sturdy. We're going to get some of those out, and we're going to first measure this. I'm going to have to hold it up. Let me clip this, because if I drop it, well, I'll be restringing forever. All right, let me measure this so I know how long I need the chain. I don't need a lot of chain. This is just under 12 inches, so I only need about 4.5 inches of 2 pieces of chain at 4.5 inches. So we're going to go ahead and get that cut so we have it done. And get my measuring tape over here. And 2 pieces at 4.5 inches, that is 9 inches. Because the rest of my stuff will will cover that with no problem. So right about there, get my cutters, and we're going to cut. And there's one piece done. And I'll get another piece out. And we'll cut another 4.5 inches. So when I'm done, it'll be probably about a 22.5 to 23 inch necklace. And there's the other piece. I'm going to go ahead and get this tape back shut. So I can find my end and it doesn't unroll in the thing. Okay, get rid of my trash. All right, and get that out of the way. We're done with the cutters for the moment. All right, first thing we're going to do is put our clamshell on. The first side, we don't need to do anything other than put the wire up the butt of the clamshell and out through the mouth. And whoops, crimp beads. So I have these tiny, tiny little crimp beads. We're going to use them. Whoops, he fell back in. Well, it keeps going in the little lid here. Let's go the other way and then he won't be going and getting caught up in the lid. I'm just going to use these 2x1 and a half crimp beads for right now because they're right here in front of me, so I don't have to go dig them up. I'm going to bring it up to the end, right close to it, but not at the end. We're going to give it a squash. And I'm going to make sure that there's no spaces at the wire. That way it's not going to fail. Give it a tug test. We're going to close this and then we're going to squeeze those rings together. And then we're going to come and let this whole thing come all the way down. Give it a little swirl. I am going to cut the majority of this off so that I don't have to work with so much. And there's plenty there to make earrings with. I'm going to open this clamshell up through the bottom, out through the mouth of the clamshell. We're going to pick up that just like so and let that crimp bead go down inside. And then we're going to grab that crimp bead, give it a little bit of a push, make sure everything looks good. No gaps, but it's not poker straight. And we're going to squash. And I want to make sure I squash it all the way across. I'm going to give it a tug test. It's on there tight. I will finish trimming this. I'm not going to go all the way to that crimp bead. Whoops, I forgot to hold it. Sorry, guys. I'm going to give that a hug and give that a squash. Nice and closed. There we go. Now we're ready to put on our chain. I'm going to put this away so it's not under our arms. And I put them away. I need to put these away. There we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to open this. These are really tiny, so they will go in that chain. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to pick up my chain. I'm going to put it on first so there's less in the way of that chain. I'm going to put my clamshell on, and then we're going to close this jump ring up. Make sure it's good and shut. And then I'm going to do the same here. This one's not shut all the way, so I'm going to make sure it's all the way and then bring it back open. Put our chain on. You want, with this chain, a 20 gauge or 21 gauge jump ring to go through that chain. An 18 gauge, if you don't mind fiddling with it, will go on it, but it takes some fiddling. All right, now we're going to put our jump ring on, and this necklace will be done. I really like the pinks on this. I like that shell. I think that's the last one of those that I had. Now we're putting our lobster on, closing this up. And then because this is a 18 gauge, I'm going to use a tiny jump ring on the chain itself. See how tiny those holes are? Just make sure that's good and closed. And then I'm going to put my jump ring on. And I want to make sure that is going to close up good. And then open it back up. And fasten it to the jump ring. Yeah, need to open it just a hair more. And then close it. There we go. So there is this necklace. I really like it. It's not as heavy as I thought it was going to turn out. I like that shell and the pink on the shell heishei beads. And then that little kind of beige color matches the other beads and the kind of beige swirl in the shell heart. Very pretty. I love how this turned out. I really think it's going to be a very pretty piece. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you all have a good afternoon. Bye, guys.